Good Friday morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Scoop on WSIC. We have a fun show for the most part today. We've been in here already laughing. This is a good group of people. I want to start off with just a follow-up from something that I talked about a few weeks ago, a public records request that I made of the town to sort of follow up on the...
Town of Mooresville.
Yeah, sorry. We are covering more than one. The town of Mooresville. And this is in response to that whole quote-unquote mass exodus. And you know, my gripe was that the press threw out this whole slew of names with zero context. And so I'm going to go employee by employee and try to find out. So I made a public records request of one in particular, and their expenses on their purchasing card, their town purchasing card. And the town came back with, and you know, I've been doing this line of work since some of these town employees weren't even out of diapers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Old lady.
So I was bored at night, but not last night, sort of thing. So I get back at this response, and it's like Amazon, $50 some. And I'm like, no. Like back in the day, I used to go into finance. Like this was, and I would be like, I want to see the folder of this employee, their expenses. And I was able to flip through every single receipt. You don't do that anymore. You have this portal that you have to go through, which I understand for efficiency's sake. That makes sense. But anyway, no. We want an itemized list. So I wrote back to the town and said, we want an itemized list of everything. I don't care that, they shopped at Amazon. That don't tell me nothing. I want to know what was purchased. So that's an update. I have sent that back to them. We're going to continue on that, but we're going to move on to more fun things. So in the studio with Dan and me today, we have Z, the owner of Murto in Mooresville on Main Street. Probably a lot of fans of his place listening in, and Heather, who owns North Carolina Provisions on Broad Street, sort of the pulling up the back of the downtown area, and she'll probably be talking about that some today. So Z has something fun. He always does his place always does something fun for Halloween. So he's getting ready for that, and I'm going to turn it over. Tell us what you're doing.
Well, before I start with the Halloween stuff, kind of it'll make sense towards the end of the conversation.
Sure.
But we have a big October coming up. But to segue into what you said about October and Halloween, this is our fourth year now of doing something over the top with the bar as far as decorations, themed drinks, kind of in the pop-up bar realm, but we're not a pop-up bar because we're a permanent place. But we started off with Stranger Things when that was a very popular show, so we decked out the entire bar.
It's still a very popular show in my house with my wife.
Yeah. And actually, we were going to try and lean back into that Stranger Things theme because we had such a wild success with it, but they really broke up this final season over like 3 different segments, and they've pushed it back so much we weren't able to hit it before October, which would have been great because then we've already done one. We've kind of got some of the props laid out from that. So we did Stranger Things, had a great success, and now I'm like, why the hell do we do this? Talking to my wife, Lauren, because she does graphic design. She's very, very creative. So she's kind of the cracking the whip, and I'm just the put it together kind of guy. Yeah. But we've gotten to a good pace now between her and I on how to kind of collaborate with some of these thoughts and ideas and bring them to life. So if you've been down and seen the Stranger Things, that was our first one we did. Then we went into The Nightmare Before Christmas, which was kind of during the anniversary of that. So we try and do stuff that's like pop culture and relevant at the time. And then last year we went into Beetlejuice with Beetlejuice doing like their Beetlejuice 2, I believe.
Yeah, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Beetlejuice 2. So this year we were like, man, what are we going to do to kind of top that? Where have we been? We've kind of done some more of the fun and cheesy kind of Halloween stuff. So this year we went a little bit darker and did slashers at the Still. So we have, without getting into too much reveal, we want people to come down and check it out. But we've taken on some of your 80s and 90s horror film, classic Halloween stuff. And the way our bar is set up, we have partitions set up with like 4 booths against the wall. So for each year that we've done it, each booth has been like an iconic scene or something to go along with each category. This year we have a little bit more things to choose from. So we've got Chucky, we've got Jason, we've got Freddy. So all the classics. So I'm actually finishing up those scenes today and or this weekend. So we kind of roll into a soft opening with it this weekend. let some bodies walk in there, take some live rounds, and then kind of see where we can kind of tweak things. What works, like, maybe Freddie's claw was hanging down a little bit too, and somebody hanging down a little bit too low, and somebody that's 6'3" walked by and kept clipping it. So we just want to kind of make sure that it's right for the Halloween season. And we're actually talking about next week, once it's really kicked off, with our cocktails that are go along with the themes, but maybe doing showing some of the classic movies during the week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and doing some popcorn and stuff, so people can really get into the Halloween spirit.
That'd be awesome.
But so that'll be like our month-long celebration of October. But towards the end of the month, when Halloween actually hits us, we have a unique opportunity where another thing that we do in downtown Mooresville is our Throttle Thursday series. So
I was going to ask if that is that done yet, or do we still have some to go?
Yeah, this will actually be our last one of the season.
It's not going to be rained out.
Yeah, I know.
Right, this year has been crazy.
It's been crazy for us. I'm just going to say, weather permitting. I've been joking around about Throttle Thursdays. I said, we've had so much rain. I think I might start an ancillary business where I go and I find a farmer that is having a drought issue. And I say, hey, listen.
Let's have a Throttle Thursday.
I will guarantee you, you pick a Thursday in the month, I will advertise having a bike rally car
seriously,
show.
because the thing is, otherwise we're like in practical droughts, and then all of a sudden it's Throttle Thursday. It's like,
my wife and I, we love to ride the Harley down for that, and every single time it rains out. Yeah, every time.
This year has been
bad.
It's been bad, and it's I think that's one of for us at Murto made, and I want to give a shout out to my friends Adam, Paul, and Spinner from Foundation Murto and Old Town Revival, because those guys are really our partners in that. For us, when we came into downtown Mooresville, we saw a lot of the synergy that we saw with like the downtown events that take place that are put on by the city, by the downtown commission, and some really cool stuff. That's kind of some of the perks that drew us to wanting to put a business down there. So through that, with our Throttle Thursday series, that really has done good by us in the city. Like, it's a great event that the city doesn't have to pay for, that we put on. We have great sponsors with Tilly Harley Davidson, and it's been wildly successful for us and putting the eyes on, Race City USA. I mean, there's a lot of gearheads in Mooresville.
Oh yeah.
So it's something that we're proud of, and we want to continue to go on. This year we've had some hiccups with the permitting that has changed. That process has kind of gone through a complete overhaul. So we've been working close with the city and trying to make sure that our focus with that event is safety and putting on a good event for the city. Number one, right? We want to put all eyes on Mooresville and make sure that we're doing our best to keep it safe. So we've been working with the city and trying to make sure it's a safe event. But hopefully after getting a few successful ones off this year, we'll be able to kind of mend and melt that with each other and come up with a good plan to put forth a great series.
It always draws a pretty big crowd.
Yeah.
The restaurants are busy. The bars are busy.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah. And for us, I thought, like I always say, like in the bar business, with all due respect, any idiot can open a bar and make money on Fridays and Saturday nights.
How do you attract people on those
where do you get your worth in running a bar and restaurant? Show me what your numbers are on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or an off Thursday. So for us, and not only for us at Mooresville Distillery and Foundation Murto and OTR, but we wanted to showcase the city and the businesses that are open in the evening, for the Thursday night. So, and everybody's had, the businesses have done great. Yeah. So this is a unique time of year where we're going to have to
stop right there. We'll be back with
Yeah, let's pick that up. Don't forget your train of thought. This is WSIC's The Scoop, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to WSIC's The Scoop. It's a beautiful Friday. We left off talking to Z, the owner of Murto Made, and about some of his fun Halloween stuff, or October, but Halloween themed stuff coming up. And we're going to wrap up with him and then move over to Miss Heather about some Broad Street stuff and just have a discussion about downtown before moving on to whatever Firewire Dan's going to bring up today.
Hard hitting today, boy.
So Z, go ahead and wrap up. We didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. So we've come up. We have a unique opportunity in October where we're actually ending up our Throttle Thursday series last Thursday of the month, which is, I believe, October 30th. Mm-hmm. And then the city has another great event that takes place on Friday, which is a trick-or-treating event on Friday, which is the 31st actual Halloween. So we'll start off with the kiddies. I believe that's from 3 to 5. It's an awesome event. If you have kids that love candy, which I'm sure all kids do.
What kid doesn't?
Right. I have a 10-month-old Alexis.
I was going to say, we've got a first Halloween coming up.
Yeah, so my wife and I are going to be dressed. My wife and I, Lauren, will be farmers, and she's going to be a little chicken. That's at least what we've discussed. There's been about 6 other things that have popped up. This morning, we landed on she's a little baby chicken. So.
Oh, I can't wait to see pictures.
Yeah, so great event for the kids. They shut down the streets and kids go around and collect candy, which is an awesome, safe environment. It's kind of in a controlled environment where the kids can kind of be safe and walking free through the streets. It's an awesome event. So that, and then Friday night we'll have our normal Halloween party, if you will, costume party. We'll do, prizes for best dressed, best couple, best guy, best girl. And we should know, knock on wood, next Tuesday, I was told, we're in the final stages of our permit for November 1st doing a block party for Halloween. It'll be November 1st, but it's still Halloween weekend.
Yeah, Halloween.
So, we'll get the Throttle Thursday, the kiddos, and then like a normal business party on Friday night. And then working with Waves Entertainment and my good friend Justin from 158, we're working together to shut down Main Street to do a block party with food trucks, live music, and huge costume party. Shout out also to my good friend, Mayor Carney. He's been a huge help to me as far as helping navigate some of the new permitting stuff, and he's been a big part of helping us get this event underway as well. So he's been an awesome advocate for me in the downtown businesses. Can't say enough about the great stuff.
Mayor Carney believes in Mooresville. If there's one thing that he has come through for Mooresville, is just how much he loves the town and wants to make it prosper.
Right. I've met a lot of politicians, and I was lucky enough to have 2 years with Mayor Atkins. He was awesome, an awesome force for us as well. And Mayor Carney picked up right where he laid off, and just he's blown my socks off as far as a business owner, and what he's been able to do to kind of connect the dots for us to make sure that people are held responsible, accountable, and with that, he's putting himself in the ring there. He makes himself accountable. He makes common sense decisions, and it's really been a joy working with him. And hopefully that trend continues after the election here. He's done a great job by us in Mooresville. I can't say enough about that guy. But back to the fun stuff. We're going to have that party. Knock on wood, like I said, we'll make that announcement probably next Tuesday or Wednesday if that party takes off. So it's an awesome time to be in Mooresville for downtown events. And being a business owner in Mooresville, like, when we first came down there 4 years ago, it was a little bit stagnant. Business was good. It wasn't great. We've had more businesses come in, some leave, some go, more restaurants come in. So for us, it's really, we do really depend on a lot of these events to make our, bottom line for our business, to make things going. So it's been a huge part of our success is the events. But we also want to make sure that people are now coming down to Mooresville to enjoy, shops on Main and Broad Street.
You want to share.
Right. Yeah. Everybody, like our idea with Throttle Thursday wasn't just for us. It was to showcase Mooresville. We're Race City, USA, for the love of God. We want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward to express all the great things that Mooresville has to offer. So we're hoping that, these events and the event-driven business that we've kind of funneled ourselves into really starts paying dividends with the day-to-day business.
With everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of that, Heather, there was a story that came out. It's been probably a year. What was it? Broads on Broad or something I thought was great. Yeah. But there's also a line of stores, and I know next week we're talking about bringing Brad from Crazy Cool Collectibles in here. That'll be fun because he's got opinions. And he definitely has opinions about he has a heart for downtown. I call him the ultimate hype guy for downtown.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think too, like it's weird, like the way that the lines were drawn around what is downtown and what isn't downtown. And I think that the more inclusion that we get with everybody, Mooresville is Mooresville, right? I don't care where you draw the lines, but I'm hoping that we can all just have this awesome synergy. There's
always been, I moved to the downtown district 2002 or 2003. I got those dates right, didn't I?
This time.
This time.
Not to stomp out what you guys were saying.
No, not at all. Pitch in whenever. But I have always noticed, I mean, I can walk to downtown and often do, but, well, I wouldn't say often. But Broad Street does not necessarily seem to get the same
traffic.
You're going to be able to talk about it better than I can.
The same love.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. It's the same love.
And is it just from people that are shopping? Because do people just not know? Because these businesses are still downtown businesses, but they sit parallel to the Main Street businesses. So whenever a Main Street situation, like an event happens, which we do love,
Right.
absolutely love.
Yeah.
Sometimes Broad Street's brought in.
But it's nice to see the past few events in the past year or two, they're putting stuff on Broad Street now.
And we're very thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. I can't say that events only being held on Main Street bring anybody to Broad Street. I mean, they park down there and they walk because they're going somewhere. If they're going to Liberty Park or if they're going to Main Street. I always try to attend. I mean, I saw Z at the last Murto just to say hey. I always try to pump everybody up. Like Z just said, we're all Mooresville. We all want Mooresville to thrive. And it seems to be a battle at times that we're on Broad Street. There's no signage. There's nothing on Main Street that says, hey, more shops this way. And now where Rio and all them are, the restaurants.
On Church Street. Yeah,
on Church Street, there's no sign saying more restaurants this way. Now, granted, Rio's super popular. And Liberty Park, the remodel's beautiful and they do so much down there. But there's just been a disconnect, I think, between certain streets in downtown, the town itself, Downtown Mooresville Commission. There's just a disconnect for some reason why we can't all work together.
Thankfully, there are some of you owners that do.
Yes, we are friends. We all talk to each other. We are friends. I mean, Z and I are, and I hate seeing other shops close, but it's I don't know. It's a weird, we just feel kind of left out on Broad Street. Like we're just the
And you guys have some really cool shops. Like
we have some awesome
Heather's
shops.
is all North Carolina items.
One of the last events you and I went to together down there, what was it, last winter or something?
Christmas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I never even knew that store was there. And I fell in love with it. So we've been in probably 10 times since.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
That's our life.
And how are the ways that we can help fix that? Because I know business has got to be difficult. And you guys do have some really cool shops. I mean, Heather has got craft beer and she's got cheerwine, popcorn. I mean, all kinds of
North
cool
Carolina
North Carolina stuff.
The largest North Carolina craft beer selection in cans in town.
Awesome.
Get the sours.
I mean, I have over 250 vendors in that store that is across North Carolina. And that's the reason I moved my business to downtown Mooresville. I started in Rockwell in 2021 just to see what to do. I left corporate America, said I'm going to start my own business. But things changed. I wanted to leave Rowan County for personal reasons. And to grow my business, I needed to go somewhere with more foot traffic and, better selection of stuff. And I've always loved downtown Mooresville. I'm not originally from North Carolina. I mean, I grew up majority of my life in North Carolina, but I'm from Alabama originally. But I used to live in Kannapolis and I used to come to Mooresville. That was before Kannapolis redid everything. But, and that was why I moved my business here, because the Downtown Mooresville Commission did events. And I talked to shop owners before I even decided to move down there just to get the vibe and see what was going on. And I love being where I'm at. I love what I'm doing. It just, this year, is, for whatever reason specifically, this year has been a struggle.
You were saying that the other day.
Yeah. And it's not just me who's struggling. I've had at least 10 to 15 of my own vendors in my store who have shut down this year completely, either closed their storefronts and completely just shut down their whole business. And some of them are extremely popular. Holy Cookie Dough out of Salisbury, they crush it. And their food truck and everything, they sold everything. They got out. And it's just, we just had another business in downtown who just announced that they are closing their doors. Part of that, unfortunately, I think, is landlords and their prices
Yeah.
that we're paying or having to pay.
I have a friend who's a businessman here in Mooresville, multi-millionaire man, wants to open up a business, but just outright refuses to pay the prices of downtown.
It's hard.
Just refuses it.
What kind of prices are we talking about? Example.
I'm not afraid to tell people how much I pay. You don't know until you know, and I'm a very open person. So
even square footage per what?
I mean, normal square footage right now in Mooresville, you'll see it's such a range. It goes from $20 to $45 a square foot, and it's just mind-boggling. Your
Extremely
neighbor,
hard for a small business.
Very. Your neighbor can be paying $43 a square foot while you're paying $25.
Well, let's get back to that whenever we come back from break. This is The Scoop on WSIC, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to The Scoop on WSIC. We're here in the studio with two amazing downtown Mooresville business owners. And we'll get back into the discussion that we kind of left off on, but they'll do this themselves. But seriously, guys, with the holidays coming up, Zia's already talked about what he's doing for Halloween. There's bound to be tons of things going on in November. And one of the most important things that you can do if you're listening, and share this with people, get downtown and shop. Pay these folks bills. They are doing their very, very best to make our downtown vibrant and welcoming and fun. But they have to pay their rent. And some of the best, like if you're a stocking stuffer person like I am, and I'm a huge stocking stuffer person.
That's my wife right there.
Because I would like them to be like unique.
Stockings are the best.
My kids have said the same thing. They're like, hands down, and the stockings are their favorite part of Christmas.
Give a shout out to my mother-in-law, Kathy. She makes the best stockings. I said, don't buy me anything for Christmas. Just
that's what I decided.
Keep the stockings going.
That's what I decided to do with my grandies. But granted, I haven't held true to that. Like I haven't. It's either like one big gift or a stocking full. But that is something I find it special because you're going around and I go through the whole year and will pick up something that reminds me of my sister or reminds me of one of my kids.
It's magical.
Yes, It is magical and it's thoughtful. So if you want something really thoughtful, you want it from North Carolina, you want to support a local business, support a hardworking North Carolina vendor, go see Heather and then hit Z's for a cocktail after that. But back to them because they know more about downtown, obviously, than any of us. I will say, whenever I moved into downtown, the downtown district, I joke, I'm like there were like tumbleweeds going down Main Street. I saw the potential in the place. I took a tour of Burlington Mills at the time. That's now Marino, and there was graffiti. There were needles. There were alcohol bottles. I mean, it was
nasty.
Completely abandoned. Windows busted out. You see what's happened with that place. It's beautiful. Exactly what I had hoped was going to happen in downtown has happened over those 20 some years that I've lived in my home. And you two are part of that. And it was nothing like this back then, but there was always the potential. So anyway, you were talking about, and I've heard this complaint for years and years. And my mom actually had a Main Street business for a while. The landowners, building owners, like there are certain things that aren't. You take it away. You take it away. That's your specialty.
I mean, where I was in Rockwell, I didn't butt heads with my landlord. He was a fantastic landlord. Here recently, I've butted heads a little bit more with my landlord that I have just over simple things. But I've inquired about other spaces on Main Street because I don't know if business would be better for me on Main Street versus Broad Street. We're told daily, oh, we didn't even know all y'all were down here. So-and-so, I had two people come who were visiting yesterday. One was from the UK. One was from Maryland. They were in town visiting. Brad, they went to Brad's at Crazy Cool Collectibles. And they're like, Brad told us we need to go to Broad Street. So we've been walking
The
around.
ultimate hype guy.
Ultimate hype guy. We've been walking around and we came down here and they spent money with me to take back with them.
Wow.
And I mean, it's stuff like that. I mean, Fred June's helps send people down there.
Yeah, amazing bookstore, if you guys don't know.
Yeah, New Things sends people to me all the time. People tell me all the time, oh, I went in this store and they said, we need to come down here.
I've been in visiting with you.
Yeah.
And like several times people will walk in and be like, I didn't even know you guys were down here. So I mean,
How long have you been here?
I've even heard that just in visiting.
Yeah. How long have you been here? 3 years. Bethany at at the Ginger Farmhouse. She's been there for 7 years. She has been the longest one on Broad Street. And we used to be all Broads on Broad. And unfortunately, the last 2 years, we've had multiple businesses on Broad Street close and switch hands, which we're happy for the diversity we have now. We do have some more, we call it the dude block a little bit now. And we've made friends with Alley Oop and Showcase and Base.
These are new businesses.
These are new businesses on Broad Street in our block. And super awesome guys who own all of them. Just nice dudes, and Refillery's a new one. But we all are still friends. We all talk and hang out. You could probably ride by on a slow day and we're going to be standing on the sidewalk talking to each other.
And you with your dog.
Me and, Bo. Bo is...
You guys will see
I think
Bo.
Bo is why people come. It's not me.
He just walks up and down the sidewalk like he owns the freaking place.
He's not leashed. He's 15 this month.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And it's funny. I've walked on Main Street before because I'll go to High Branch or, and visit friends at Fred and June's, and people are like, hey, Bo. And I'm like,
how do you know Bo?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know who you are, but thanks. And I mean, I'm lucky to have friends who hype me up as well at different spots.
I do love hearing that some of the businesses that, business owners, when they'll tell people, like, make sure you go.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, hell, I posted a reel the other day on TikTok and all my social media platforms of Fred and June's new location in Denver, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And that has had the most everything of anything I've ever posted on social media for my business. That one.
People love some Fred and June's.
I do too. They're great
absolutely
people.
They are super
They have
people.
a fantastic vibe. But it's that we're fighting social media algorithms that we don't understand.
Yeah.
We're fighting
right. They change every day. It's almost like right.
We're like one week it will be fantastic, and then the next week it's like 3 likes, and I'm like, what is happening?
That's a difficult thing. I've been working on learning more of that myself, and it is a little difficult. I was trying to explain some of it last night about like carousels and how Instagram might favor that today, because if you don't catch it on the first picture, they'll repost it in people's feed on the second picture. Yeah. But reels are what's going to get your new followers. And you just got to pay so much attention to it, and that can become a full-time job.
Oh,
so you're running your business plus doing your social media. Anyway,
we do everything. I mean,
you guys work your tails off.
It's a battle from being able to pay $3,000 a month in rent, to making sure you post every day on social media, to battling what Amazon or whoever can do. We ship. No, it might not be next day. If you're in the area, I will deliver it to your house. I have before. I've driven all the way to Cheryl's Ford before to deliver a huge wooden placard because it was so heavy. I was like, there's no way I'm shipping this. Well,
that is the reason, guys. You don't get that. You don't get that with Amazon or with big box stores. This is the reason you want to shop local, stay local. I'm going to turn the show over to Dan. There are a couple more serious things. Thank you guys both for being here and all of your insight. Dan, you've got the floor.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. All right, we've had a good time here today with the businesses on Main Street and Broad Street. So thanks for coming in. But we do have some things that we do need to talk about. First and foremost, we're going to talk quickly about Austin Ray Harmon. If you all don't remember, he's the one that allegedly was driving drunk and struck a golf cart over on Fort Dobbs Road back in 2022, killing 3, seriously injuring 3. A lot of people remember Amy Mills. She was one of the big voices. she was the girlfriend, wife, whatever she was at the time, lost a leg and all that, and children. And so that was pretty sad. But anyways, Austin Ray Harmon has been put back in jail after multiple arrests since being out on bail. He's been arrested 2 or 3 times, not only in Iredell and in Rowan. He is back in custody at the Iredell County Detention Center, and he has now been given a $750,000 bond, I think it was, somewhere right around there.
You've been posting about this.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's a disgrace. I'm sorry. It's an absolute disgrace how you can take 3 lives, critically injured 2 to 3 others, and be out on bond for years. This happened in 22, and we still have not went to trial on this. And that's the way attorneys work. They'll continue it, asking for more time. We're 3 years into this, going on 4 shortly, and he's still out on the street. But thankfully, not anymore, thanks to Judge Troy Stafford. We'll be back on WSIC 1400 AM, 105.9 and 100.7. All right, we're back on WSIC, 1400 AM, 105.9 and 100.7. You could also find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and LinkedIn. So we left here just a few minutes ago talking about the Austin Ray Harmon case. I want everybody just to realize just how bad this was and what this guy was arrested for. Obviously, the alleged DWI. He was also charged with 3 charges of felony death by vehicle, okay, and 3 charges of felony serious injury by vehicle because of the 3 people he seriously injured. And one of them, as we all know, Amy, she lost her leg. So that's pretty serious. Reckless driving and DWI. So we can't thank Judge Troy Stafford enough to put him back where he belongs.
In the DA's office.
And well, I'm sure the DA had something to do with it. I reached out to Sarah Kirkman. We had a few texts back and forth confirming some of the information before I put it out. But the guy's obviously a danger. He's had multiple arrests since, and he's right where he belongs.
So is it just normal that it takes this long? I do know that it does, but I mean, is it, and what happens to finally cause the dam to break and somebody to do something?
I wish I had the answer to that. I was in law enforcement. I wasn't in the DA's office, and how and why it keeps getting continued.
Well, I wonder how much, this is all speculation. I wonder how much pressure from the public, social media.
I've been told that was a huge part in this. Yeah. Now, was that the determining factor for the judge? I highly doubt it. He's got to follow law, not social media.
Yeah.
But
not public pressure.
I think he saw the writing on the wall that he already had another DWI offense or an alcohol related offense. I can't remember if it was a DWI or public intoxication, something of that sort. But then he just got into another misdemeanor style charges out of Rowan County. And then he had this property damage accident just about 2 weeks ago. Shepherd's firefighter actually testified in that.
Drunk again?
He had, by what I was told, he had a ankle monitor on or some sort of bracelet on that's supposed to detect alcohol, and that came back no alcohol in that particular incident. That's what's been reported.
This goes back to what you and I have talked about on this show, almost every single show. Just how many offenses does it take before you get somebody?
And why is it? And I got to go back to it. We are almost 4 years, and this still hasn't gone to trial. There's nothing.
And he's been out.
The U.S. Constitution is written that you are entitled to a fair, speedy trial.
I guess speedy is relative.
We're 4 years almost. There's nothing speedy about this. And for the judge or the DA to keep accepting these continuances. Now, I know how this works. The reason they do this because they want people to forget. Continue for years, and the public starts to lose,
We become desensitized almost.
To it. You know, there's people that are currently in jail right now in Iredell County that have been there since 2019, still waiting for their trial. That woman, she is accused of murdering her baby. She's still sitting in the jail because it's been continued for years.
We can dig into that a little bit, maybe.
That's a good one we can go to. But we're going to talk about something else now. I wanted to make sure I got that out because that was a very local case. And this is local, too. You know, we cover Mecklenburg County. House Bill 307 was just signed by Governor Stein. I got to hand it to Governor Stein. He's a Democrat. And a lot of law enforcement was not happy when he won. But he has been a friend of law enforcement, and he's been doing the right thing for law enforcement since getting elected into office. House Bill 307 is also dubbed as Irina Zaruska. How do you say it? Zaruska? Am I saying it right? I can't say it. I think I'm saying it close. But if you all remember, she was the 22-year-old refugee that came from Ukraine and was stabbed in the neck by a deranged individual who had a multiple arrest record and should have never been out on the street to begin with.
Another one.
So I just want to read some quotes here. And this is from one of the local TV stations here in Charlotte, one that you and I have talked about before on the air and that we are no fans of. But I want everybody to listen just the way that some of this is written. Okay?
What station was that?
WBTV. I'll say it. I don't care. Stein announced the bill signing in a video public. Excuse me. Let me try this in English. Stein announced the bill signing in a video published to the governor's official website and social media pages. It's named the Irina Zaruska, the young woman who was stabbed to death on a Charlotte light rail. So now let's turn the page to just this one. This controversial part of the bill included the reinstatement of the death penalty in North Carolina. I don't find that controversial, do you? The dude literally walked up behind a beautiful blonde girl, 110 pounds, if that, and stabbed her in the back of the neck, killing her almost instantly. So now we're going to talk about where he might put somebody to death that killed an innocent person. I find that despicable. But, you know, we can never talk about something like this without the great NAACP. The NAACP has released a statement now in regards to this. Now, I think the NAACP has done a lot of great work, especially here in the South. We all know the history of the South and Black individuals, and I think the work that they've done is fabulous. There's no doubt about it. But this statement that they put out is ridiculous. I just highlighted some of the points that they said, and this was specifically written by Deborah D. Maxwell, the president of the NAACP North Carolina State Conference.
I was going to ask if this is the, yeah. Okay.
I don't know who she is. I just printing this
It's
out.
the state, yeah.
But the NAACP strongly condemns House Bill 307. This bill will reintroduce firing squads, electrocution, and poison gas. The NAACP has fought for more than a century to end racial terror. Yet this bill would drag North Carolina back into the era of cruelty and injustice. Think about that statement. Think about what injustice is. Would injustice be riding on a Lynx train in the city of Charlotte and being stabbed in the side of the neck? Being bled out on the side, on the car, on the floor, when everybody in that car sat there and looked at you? Is that justice? So we're going to sit here and talk about an injustice of a man who was on video doing this. There's no hiding what he did. There's no defense. I don't care if he was mental or not. He knew what he was doing. You just don't stand up and put a knife into somebody.
You know, I've told you, like, I can't bring myself to watch, but from the accounts of it, like, there was a second where he thought, like, it looks like he thought through it. Like, there was a pause.
This girl was like this on the train with her phone in her hand, coming back from a pizza parlor, I believe it was.
From work.
Yeah, yeah, maybe she worked at the pizza parlor. Maybe that's what it was. Totally unprovoked. And they want to sit there and say that. That's what I can't grasp. That it just doesn't make sense. The NAACP has fought for more than a century to end racial terror. The only terror that was there was him doing that to her. How can they, in a good conscience, say that? That was the terror. So now they're upset that he's going to be tried by a jury of his peers. He's going to be found guilty. He's going to get an appeal. He's going to get a second appeal, because that's the law. And at that point, if the second appeal fails, he'll be sentenced, and it might be the death penalty. So we're years out from this, but yet the NAACP had the gall to come out and say that.
How do we
Additionally, hold on.
Okay.
Adding firing squads, electrocutions, and
That's what I
poison
was gonna
gas
ask. How
has
do we-
nothing but intensified the brutality. What about the brutality of getting a knife in the side of the neck?
But
That's
how do
what
we
you
get here? How do we get to this, that the death penalty is going to include poison gas and,
Well, those are the different styles of
firing squads?
firing.
That's just the menu.
Yeah, I mean, you have lethal injection, you have firing squads,
You can still do that?
you have poisonous gas, and I want to say there's still one state, and I could be wrong. I think there's still one state that has on the books legal to hang, but I don't think it's been done in years.
See,
and years.
I had no idea.
It's somewhere out west, if I'm not mistaken.
But also to your point, and not to jump in there at all, but should this man have even been on that train?
No, he should have been in jail.
Right.
And, this is another thing that goes back to this particular new law. It's going to increase funding for DAs, and it takes away cashless bail. So a guy like this hopefully won't be on the street next time. But how many of these people are currently on the street?
Walking around.
Yeah.
And that aren't going to be affected by this until they offend again. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I'm not aware of what his rap sheet was, but
Oh,
it was pretty long and a lot of violent crimes too, right?
I commend Governor Stein for signing that. I commend the legislature for coming up with the law and giving it to the governor to sign. But we got 54 seconds left, and I want to bring one thing to your attention. We're working, or me specifically, for this show, and we're working on a story, and it's going to be about law enforcement in Iredell County. We're not discriminatory. We're talking about local law enforcement, the Iredell County Sheriff's Office, Troutman PD, City of Statesville, and Mooresville.
All across the board.
All across the board. This is going to be a pretty hard hitting thing that we're going to be doing here, and I got to give it to Chief Watson with Troutman, Chief Camperchani with Mooresville. They have been very forthcoming with information. We're still waiting on the Sheriff's Office and the city to come back with some more stats. Statesville. With some more stats that we've requested, and we will be bringing those to you hopefully next week on WSIC Radio. Thank you for listening to us today. We'll be back here next week with Jaime Gatton, myself, Dan, and whoever our guest will be.